Take my hands. Close your eyes. Now feel.
I've been making What I Eat in a Week videos on YouTube for over 3 years now. At this point, I think I've documented thousands of meals, eaten over 50 jars of peanut butter, and have tried my very best to say in as many ways as possible that social media is actually all just a big fat lie. The truth is, a very small, specific population of people are making What I Eat in a Day videos. Most of the time, fitness influencers whose jobs are to work out and film their bodies, athletes who dedicate a huge portion of their lives to their sport, people who are recovering or struggling with disordered eating, content creators who profit off of portraying an aspirational lifestyle, or people who are just considered conventionally attractive. So very rarely do we see the everyday human being film what they eat and post it to social media. And it's easy to forget that this is not realistic. This is not real life. While I devour this incredibly gorgeous, thick and fluffy stack of cottage cheese pumpkin pancakes, I'm gonna chat about my childhood. Growing up, I rarely saw anyone with a platform or in magazines or movies with a normal body like mine. When I say I have a normal body, I obviously don't mean all normal bodies look like mine, but that normal bodies don't have to look like any body at all. They don't look like the girls on social media, the celebrities, the fitness Pilates girlies.
The fluffiest pancakes ever.
Or the people who use the way their body looks to sell you on a diet or a workout plan or a bottle of greens. A normal body doesn't have to look any type of way or size or shape or shade, and a normal body isn't a bad thing, a shameful thing. It isn't always a body that is easy to love, even if it is completely lovable. Unfortunately, a normal body isn't usually the body we want. But years down the line, it becomes the body we wish we appreciated more. I think it's important to ask yourself why you think your body needs fixing, improving, changing. What is wrong with it? Is it how your stomach looks when you sit? The way your legs touch? Is it because you feel like you gained weight? And why do you believe that those things make your body worse? When did you decide the problem was your weight and losing it would fix things? When did you start looking in the mirror and automatically look for what you didn't like? When did you begin only posting pictures of yourself after you shrunk your waist and edited your face and enhanced your chest? When did the goal become to be as small as possible no matter how miserable or hungry or lonely it made me? While this stunning barbecue chicken pizza I'm about to gobble up right now makes me too happy, it makes me sad that we think the most valuable thing about our bodies is how they look. That our bodies have become the thing we use to rank ourselves against one another, that we believe our bodies are fundamentally flawed, that they exist to be fixed, that they somehow determine how confident we are allowed to be. It makes me sad that we're scared to show up as ourselves, fuel ourselves, rest ourselves. I sound like a broken record at this point, but instead of focusing on the things we wish we could change or all the ways we could be more like someone else, it's so important to acknowledge the things we do appreciate about our bodies and focus on the things we do love about ourselves and are confident in. Literally, it can be anything from a body part to a skill to a personality trait.
What the heck? So 香.
So香.
So much 香.
太香了.
Ah.
We tend to overlook what we have because we are so hyper-focused on what's missing.
Holy moly.
And even if they're not the things that are usually praised by society or considered strengths or beautiful by others, every part of you is a gift and makes you human and makes you you.
I'm so tired.
And when you change your focus, the reflection doesn't change, but what you see does. I used to look in the mirror and see my legs. They are too short, too bulky, too muscular. Pants look bad on me. I have a muffin top. So that must mean I should make my body smaller. I'll see my arms. They're not dainty or girly. They're not lean and long and toned. I can't wear tank tops. I have to hide them. My boobs and my butt are so flat. How will boys ever like me? And if boys never like me, how will I ever like me? That's literally how my brain worked. It's interesting how quick we are to blame our bodies. There's nothing wrong with your body, there's nothing wrong with anyone's body, but there is so much wrong with the messages that try to convince you otherwise. We were all whole and perfect and beautiful to begin with until the world convinced us that we weren't. This is what I see when I look in the mirror now. I see legs that help me sweat out my stress and have literally taken me to every single place I've ever been to in my life. I see arms that, yes, wiggle when I move them and can open bottles that no one else can. I see a girl who, yup, has a double chin and lower belly fat and who properly fuels her body and eats enough to enjoy her workouts and prioritizes a healthy and rested mind and body over an aesthetic or size. This girl sees movement as strength, not punishment, stillness as healing, not lazy, eating out as exciting, not cheating. A girl that enjoys her dessert instead of stressing about it, measures her gratitude, not her food. I see a girl who eats regular meals and has regular cycles with a regular body, and I'm so proud of her. That's the cool thing. When you see progress as something beyond your body, the progress you make becomes so much bigger. And when you finally decide to make the body you have the one that deserves your love and attention and care and kindness, when you decide it's your home, your friend, your life, maybe you will choose health. Because you want to, not because you have to. Maybe you'll stop resenting the gym and start exercising the way that feels good more consistently. Maybe you'll choose the foods that make you feel energized and happy. Maybe you'll feel more confident because you finally realized you have so much more to offer than just a body. So let's make it about caring for our bodies, not changing them. It's really up to you to decide. Maybe it's because the weather's getting chillier or because I feel like it helps soothe my stress with school and exams, but I've really been into sipping on warm drinks lately, usually different kinds of teas, and recently I've actually gone into drinking bone broth. I usually like to drink it after a long day with my dinner, which today was some shrimp tacos and pineapple salsa. Apparently I'm team pineapple on my pizza and pineapple in my tacos. Anyways, I finally decided to give bone broth a try because I've just heard so many amazing things. It's said to support the gut microbiome, reduce inflammation, and it's a really good source of collagen, which is great for your hair and nails and skin. So I've been drinking it every day for the past week and I've been really enjoying it. The bone broth I'm drinking is Dr. Kellyanne's bone broth, and you can get it on drkellyanne.com. I specifically like this one because there's no cooking and prepping, so I just pour it into a cup and microwave it. And one single serving of this broth is nutrient and vitamin packed and has 6 grams of protein, and it also has a good amount of iron, which I've been deficient in for like the past 10 years, so I'll take a little extra from whatever I can get. Their bone broth is slow simmered for 8 hours, and they are also sold in individual packets where you can just add hot water and drink. So yes, this has been my post-school routine, cooking and demolishing a delicious dinner with my favorite fall show playing in the background while sipping on my bone broth. It just makes me feel warm and cozy and happy.
Holy moly. This is so good. Highly recommend.
It's no secret, we all know very well by now, food is the great love of my life. So when I tell you that this apple bread was moist and caramelly and that if you like apple cinnamon, you need this, you gotta believe me. Food has just always spoken to my soul in a way that nothing else ever has. Nothing could beat the love I had for food, except the hate I had for my body. I spent years worrying about calories, categorizing food as good and bad. I thought the answer to finally loving my body was self-control, portion control, healthy substitutes, listening to rules instead of listening to my body. I'd feel guilty for eating too many bites of cake at parties, or I'd make bargains with myself. Like, if you don't eat bad food all week, you can have a cookie at the end of it. If you work out more, you can eat more. It felt like I was either always hungry or feeling guilty for being full. In my pursuit to eat less, I'd always end up eating more. When I'd get cravings, they'd be so intense, and when I let myself finally eat something I quote-unquote shouldn't be eating, I could not stop. So we have 3 types of hunger: physical, emotional, and mental, and they all matter and they are all valid. Suppressing and controlling a craving only leads to a bigger craving, and then eventually the craving controls you, and then you feel guilty for satisfying that craving, and then you restrict again, and that vicious cycle continues. If you're going to bed hungry or not eating enough during the day, or if you deny your body of what it's asking for, of the fuel it needs to survive, your body doesn't know what's going on. Your body is literally programmed to not let you go hungry. So it's gonna try to protect you by ramping up hunger hormones in response to restriction.
Damn. Is cottage cheese a secret?
It's so fluffy.
It's so full.
So overeating is the outcome of restricting, whether that's physically or mentally. So how did I stop overeating? I stopped under-eating. I stopped dieting.
This is why I love fall.
What's beautiful?
My precious time, is this what it looks like? two ways to look at it. One, you keep going and there's a monster on the other side of the tunnel. Or two, you stop and quit before you end up striking gold.
This mutual trust that my body and I built over the years, guys, has taken a lot of work, but it required me to let myself eat as much of something as I want without guilt, without compensating, with no rules. And in time, the food loses its power over you. In the short term, I may have eaten all the cookies and the entire bag of chips or an entire pint of ice cream every single day, but the more I allowed myself to eat it, the more my body started to crave other things. Now that I'm allowed to eat them every day, I don't really want them every day. Eating everything has changed the way I see food, how my body reacts to certain foods, and even how food tastes has changed. I've also realized I don't even have intense cravings anymore because I eat all of my cravings when I crave them. I'm not kidding, my cravings mostly consist of fresh fruit, peanut butter, oatmeal, and my mom's cooking.
So saucy. I like the texture. Gotta pick the one with the most chocolate chips.
Terrible things started happening when you walked
The sky
away.
is so pretty
So
right
that's why I stay back.
today. Eating, for me, has always been very complicated. It was never just food to me. One moment, food could be my best friend, and the next, my worst nemesis. It has been a cure and a curse. Food was a distraction. It was happiness and guilt and shame and a temporary escape. And with my history with food, I don't know if I'll ever have a completely normal relationship with it, which is why it's so important for me to not compare my diet with others, to eat when other people aren't, to honor all the cravings, to eat as regularly as I can, and to just be compassionate with my brain. I just try to eat with the intention of wanting to take care of my body and my mind and my soul without pressure or judgment or resentment. And the thing is, you can get help, and it does get better, and you do fall back in love again. And the love is even better. Food is still and will always be the great love of my life, but I also love so many other things now about myself and my life. So what I eat isn't at the center of it all anymore. It's a healthy kind of love now. What is healthy? Okay, so I take care of my body, but I'm not a size small.
So good.
I love working out, but I don't have visible abs. I'm a big fan of high protein meals. I love lifting heavy, but I don't look like a fitness influencer. My blood work shows I'm incredibly healthy, but my BMI says I'm overweight. I feel like I am the healthiest I've ever been, yet every time I go on social media, they somehow convince me I'm not. How my body looks does not show how healthy I am. Health is something you feel, not something you see. Yes, I have more fat on my body. Fat is not a bad word, and it's not a bad thing. I need fat. It plays a role in hormone regulation, it protects your organs, your brain function. Also, genetics do play a huge role in how our bodies look and work.
Oh my god. Man.
For example, my body just holds and distributes fat differently. And things like metabolism and set weight, we can't control what weight our bodies function optimally and are the healthiest. So I can either stay frustrated at my body my whole life, or I can try to accept it and enjoy life.
Why are you so delicious?
Sometimes we can't and shouldn't change what our body physically looks like, but we can change our habits to prioritize feeling our best, our routines to decrease stress, our beliefs about our worth, the media that we consume, and we should change our actions and thoughts to be centered around self-love rather than self-hate.
Does anyone else want an orange? Oh, that almost killed Milo.
However, self-love isn't just not caring about what you're putting into your body, it's actually caring more just about different things and without restriction, without tying our worth to it. It's caring because you care about yourself and less about what others think of you. Like, if we're not moving enough, only eating processed foods, feeling lethargic and unhappy, if you're only eating for pleasure without giving your body the nutrients it needs, that's still not being kind to your body. It's not that I don't care what I look like at all, it's caring more about how I feel, which in turn helps me feel good about how I look and who I am.
Happy birthday! I'm nervous. Oh my god. Je ne sais pas. 是 cheese。
Oranges underneath. 酱肉。没有做大，它的猪腱。
Smoke. Oh my god. What about this?
肉有点 amber 的。
What's in it? Oh my god, it smells so good.
Some people may think if I had your body, if I could eat as much as you, if I looked like you, I'd love my body or I'd be happy and confident too. But that's just not how self-love and body image works. It's not about the body. It's always about the beliefs we hold about our bodies. I think I've hated every single part of my body, from the size of my forehead to the flatness of my feet. Yeah, I'm not even kidding, the arc of my foot, guys. To the size of my eyes, the thickness of my fingers, the length of my bicep, the broadness of my back. My weight, my body, my mindset, and my list of insecurities have changed over the years, but that list has never shortened. We all have our insecurities. I think something that's really helped me though is improving and discovering and making space for who I am as a person rather than a body. I'm not my body. How my body or face looks is not my entire identity. Whether or not other people find me attractive doesn't mean I'm not a beautiful person. And I would never want another person to only like me because of my appearance, so why shouldn't I be able to like myself beyond my appearance? And the size and weight of my body is not what I want to focus my energy on in this life. I want to read more books and learn about history and culture and psychology and the environment and try foods from around the world and play with my dog and challenge my fears. I want to put my energy into learning about my interests, into being a kinder, more caring friend, practicing inner peace. I want to improve as a human, not as a body. There are so many things in this life I want to be, and smaller isn't one of them. There are so many things that I could never be if I prioritized being smaller. So many things I wouldn't have the energy to do, the mental capacity to pursue, the health to achieve. The way you look is such a tiny, inconsequential aspect of who you are. It's not who you are. And it's like that for everything. We are not only our jobs, our friendships, our romantic relationships, our degrees and grades. When we give one thing too much power over our self-worth, we're never gonna feel enough because we're neglecting all the other components that make us whole. Like the things we like doing beyond work, the topics we could talk about for hours, the people that love us, our goals and our projects and our dreams, our mental and physical health, how we make others feel. We are all of these things too, and all of these things need to be nourished. So amazing because I don't have to be 100% satisfied with my body anymore because I have so many other aspects of who I am that I love. I want to have a body that allows me to live the type of life I want. Instead of my life being about having the type of body I want, we've got it all wrong. Our bodies are very important, don't get me wrong. They are the vessels we need to live our lives, but they are not meant to take over our lives. At the end of the day, you're never going to wish you spent more time beating yourself up for eating dessert or stressing about how you look in a sports bra. I'm not gonna be glad I skipped dinner or lost X amount of weight or inches off my waist. I won't be celebrating that I had enough self-control to not go out for ice cream with my mom. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, will you be truly fulfilled knowing you lived life being a fraction of a size smaller in exchange for being truly happy? After saying all of that, I just want to make sure you know it's not your fault. You are so hard on yourself, and you don't have to be. We are all trying our very best to simply live in a world that is terrifying and chaotic, and yes, also beautiful and magical, but equally undeniably hard. And it's okay if you're struggling a little. All of this isn't easy. There are influences we can't escape, opinions we can't unhear, multi-billion-dollar corporations out to turn us against our own instincts and bodies, and just so many messages convincing you that you're the problem. And at the bottom, which means all of the peanut butter is like rock solid, but I kind of like it. And I just wanted to say it's not your fault, and it wasn't your choice. No one chooses to hate their bodies. No one chooses to spend years controlled by food. No one develops an eating disorder by choice. The reality is, I was influenced by the outside world since the day I was born, and long before I had any solid boundaries, filters, and ability to choose what I took to heart or didn't. As were you. This world makes us feel bad for taking up space, doing what we love, being as we are, and yet there is no use in blaming the world, society, or specific people in your life for what I eat in a day videos. In order to live the life you deserve, in order to recover, to feel confident, to embrace your body, you have to focus on you. So it's not your fault, but how you go on is ultimately up to you. Learning to love myself has been a wild journey. While I am finally content in my skin, I've realized my struggles with my body and food were only the tip of the iceberg. I realized that maybe fixating on my body was a way to distract myself from all the other difficult pain points that I have yet to confront. I'm learning so many other things I need to unlearn about success, love, comparison, happiness, friendship, my self-worth, people-pleasing, perfectionism. These are big topics and big feelings. Life is complicated. Our relationships with food are complicated. Body image is complicated. But the good news is we don't have to have it all figured out right now. So please be kind to yourself with where you're at, and I'll try to do the same. And remember, you don't owe anyone a different body, but you do owe yourself a healthy one and a happy life. As always, thank you for eating with me. Thank you for being here. Go eat something yummy. I love you so much.